Hi, guys. Welcome to English Speaking Practice brought to you by Cambridge Veritas. My name is Krish. I am your spoken English trainer. And in this lesson, we're going to be talking about AI, ChatGPT, Claude, DeepSeek, and whatnot. But before we get started, I have a very interesting question for you. The question is, have you ever used ChatGPT to write something? And I know many of us may say, duh, it's become a second nature to our personality today that we end up using ChatGPT for almost everything. Are you one of them? I also use ChatGPT for a lot of writing work. But in this lesson, we will understand what is wrong about using ChatGPT when it comes to writing emails with it. Because has it ever happened with you when you copied an email from ChatGPT and you sent that email to your boss, but your boss did not reply? And your boss did not reply because somehow, your boss sensed that something was missing. And that missing element is authenticity. Authenticity. Because ChatGPT can help us write wonderful emails, wonderful copywriting, etc. But there's one thing that it can't do for you. It can't think for you. It's only you that has to decide what is the right tone you want to give when you're writing emails to colleagues that you know, acquaintances that you've just met in business meetings, very high senior senior leading team members of the senior leading team, your bosses, managers, la de la de la. And sometimes you have colleagues that are like friends at work. So what kind of tone that you should give is something that you should use when you write emails to them. That's what this lesson is all about. In this lesson, we're going to be elaborating a lot on, number one, how to get the right tone, most importantly, when you use ChatGPT. And before using ChatGPT, what should you put in the prompt so that the tone comes out almost appropriately correct? And then we're also going to be talking about how do you avoid sounding casual in the emails, and most importantly, robotic. Because a lot of people, just because ChatGPT has come, in reality, the person knows that this person's English is not even that great and fantastic. So what do people do? They end up using robotic language and tone because they just copy and paste the emails or anything that is related to writing from ChatGPT. But we have to avoid that. And that's what this lesson is all about. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you 5 emails one by one. Do you know what's amazing about these emails? That they have different tones. That is, different levels of formality. One email is very formal. The other one is just formal. Then there is semi-formal, informal, and very informal or casual. And that's what this lesson is all about. So without further ado, let's have a look at email number 1. The game is, I will read the email with you. You have to decide what is the right tone of this email. Is it very formal? Is it formal? Semi-formal, informal, or very informal? I will tell you some prompts before I show you the exact answer, the correct answer. Before I tell you the answer, you have to sort of make in your head what do you think is the correct, appropriate tone of this email, and what should you do when the next time you copy your emails from ChatGPT or use its help to write it. So let's start. Let's read it together. Why don't you read it with me? Email number 1. Hi, Rob. Apologies for the delay in getting back to you. Advantage's CEO has been tied up with year-end activity, but I can now confirm that he will not be able to take part in this project due to a number of big projects kicking off that will ultimately see him traveling for much of the next 2 to 3 months. Gordon Mayer, the CEO, is deeply apologetic and hopes to collaborate in the future on something else, But for the moment, he doesn't have the time to spare for this. Hope progress for you is going well otherwise. Regards, Amanda. I think this is quite a mixed email as I read, because in this email, if you see, I want to highlight a few things that I've found are a little bit informal. The greeting. This part of the email is called, it's called greeting. Okay. So the greetings are not very formal. The word hi is actually quite casual. I won't say it's too informal. It's not hey, but it is definitely not formal. It's a casual word. And I also see that the sentences that are used. Now, if you see, apology is a very formal word in English language, and it's a nice word. I like this word. But the sentences are not complete. They are incomplete sentences. For example, apologies for the delay. It could have been, I apologize for the delay. So it is more like a shorter version of the sentence that I just mentioned. This part of the email, it is called sign off. Repeat after me. What do we call it? It's called sign off. Sign off. So what do you think is the sign off like? Do you think it is formal, informal? Regards is a formal sign off as well. If you want to make it more formal, you can write with regards or with regard. But I would say other than that, and if you see here also, here it is incomplete, shorter version of the sentence. Instead of writing hope progress for you, one could write, to make it more formal, I hope progress for you, la di la di la. That's called a more complete sentence. So I would say it is not very formal. It is also not formal because of certain bits that we have mentioned. Because of these reasons, what do you think is this email? For much of the reason that I've spoken about right now, this email is, yes, you got it right. So this email is number 3, semi-formal. It has an overall formal vibe to it, but because of shorter sentences and casual greeting, it is making it slightly informal. So it is the middle of both formal and informal, which is semi-formal. Okay. Now let's read the next email. The next email is, Dear Anya, thank you very much for your hospitality on my recent visit. I was very interested to learn more about Barclay's methods of training these days and to get your views on the materials supplied, particularly videos. I look forward to seeing Laura. With best wishes, David Barnes. What do you think about this email? I want to tell you something interesting. Dear is, you use the word dear when you know somebody already. Yeah, because predominantly if you want to make an email very formal, you'd rather use the word hello or greetings of the day or good afternoon, good evening, whatever the time of the day is when you're writing that email. The person has used complete sentences. Thank you very much for your hospitality. These are complete sentences. Sign off is also formal. Yeah. There's a lot of active voice in this email. I look forward to, I was very interested to learn about, la di la di la. It seems like a past passive though, but it's good there. Sentences are a bit too long, but that's okay. Overall, we can say that this email is quite formal, but the kind of vocabulary that is used, for example, instead of saying very interested, you could use the word keen, or you could say very interested together as a word formation is not considered very formal. Yeah. So for example, like I mentioned before, you could use the word keen instead of very interested. So I would say it is definitely not informal, but it is also not very formal. Because of these reasons, this email accounts to number 2. It is formal, but it is not very, very formal. Why? Because dear is something that we use for somebody that we know already. So, for example, if I say hi dear, I can't use it for this stranger or for somebody that is at a higher, uh, let's say, higher position in the corporate world than me. I would be a little more sincere there. I would rather say hello or good afternoon, Mr. Sharma, or something like that. This is what I'd make use of. Okay. So, because of that reason, this email is formal. Okay. Let's now move ahead. This is email number 3. Here we go. Dear Mr. MacLeod. Now, there's something interesting here. If you see the word re, the word re here means regarding. What does it mean? Once again, repeat after me. It means regarding. Visit by Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal. I'm writing to thank you for coordinating the royal visit on Monday on behalf of all of us at Lothian Regional Council. Okay? If you see, the sentence is very, very formally put. I'm writing to thank you. In the last email, it was thank you, la di la di la. But here it is all the more longer. I am writing to thank you, la di la di la. You all deserve congratulations for ensuring the visit was such a success. And I'm sure that it will be a great boost to all concerned with the project on its first birthday. Many thanks. Yours sincerely, Susan Walters. Now this, as we discussed before, is not considered very formal. But there are many other things in this email that are very, very formal. For example, if you look at sign off, the word sincerely is quite formal. There are super complete sentences. And one very good quality of a very formal email is you use subject once again, although it is not necessary, but it just makes the email look a little more classy. It used to happen quite a lot before, but these days people end up choosing to write subject just here because I've seen a lot of emails, even today, but not that much, that they rewrite this subject once again in the body of the email as well on Gmail or whatever services you use. So, on behalf, very formal vocabulary, deserves congratulation, again very formal, ensuring, very formal, concerned, again quite a formal phrasing. Sign off is great, vocabulary is quite formal, very classy. Regarding is used once again in the body, makes the email look again quite sophisticated. Sentences are complete, rather more than complete. The grammatical structure makes it quite formal. So because of these reasons, the email is, yes, you got it. This email is very formal. All right. Because of all of these reasons, this email is very formal. Okay, this was email number 3. Let us now look at email number 4. Hi Rita, sorry I missed you on Wednesday. I had an urgent and unscheduled meeting. Can we meet next week, maybe on Thursday? Ahmed. What do you think about this email? Let's start with the greetings. Hi is an informal word. Sorry I missed you on Wednesday is rather short sentence. It could have been I am sorry, but still used a shorter version of it. I had an urgent unscheduled meeting. Okay. Can, again, as a word, is quite casual. It's primarily used for permission, but a rather formal version is could. So there's that. And there's no sign off with best, with love, etc., etc. None of that is mentioned here. It's just the name of the person. So sign off is missing as well. I would say this email looks quite, what do you think? Shall we call this email very informal or shall we call this email informal? What do you think? I think Ahmed, who's writing this email to Rita, already knows Rita. I think they're colleagues. They work at the same level in the company. It is definitely not very casual. It definitely has at least the basic structure of writing an email. So it's using greeting, it's using grammatically correct sentences, there's no sign off. So I would say it's not very informal, but it is definitely an informal email. And because of that, we give it a 4. And the last email of the day is here. Please have a look. Jenny. Just the name of the person, no greeting whatsoever. So I'm going to write, greetings are missing, I'm sorry. Jenny, thanks for your help. Again, the word thanks, short sentence, not a complete sentence. Vocabulary is quite casual. For your help for the project. It went really well, I think, and I couldn't have done it without you. Okay, that's fine. Sarah. Sign off is again missing. Very basic structure is used. There's no greeting, there's no sign off, just the name of the person. I think they are very, very good friends. It's just I think for the heck of writing, she's written this email just to make sure that email conversations are in place as well. There's no greeting, there's no sign off. It is definitely very casual. So we're going to give this number 5, very informal or casual email. So if you see, we've looked at 5 different types of emails and 5 different types of tones as well. But if we are using ChatGPT, what should we keep in mind when we are writing such emails? There are 5 things that I want to share with you. Please have a look. Number 1, listen carefully. How do we use ChatGPT when writing emails? If you remember 2 years ago, when we used to write emails, it used to take us at least 10 to 20 minutes to write a good email. And sometimes when I was writing very formal emails, I would spend a lot of time on my emails. But because ChatGPT has come, you give it a prompt and it gives you the email. But you know what is the problem? People copy that first draft sometimes and paste it in the email basically for the person that they want to send it to. Just the first draft. But you know what is the problem? ChatGPT gives you very long emails. There's a lot of writing that is there, unnecessary repetition. The words sometimes are too formal, so the tone, there's no brevity. What is the meaning of the word brevity? Brevity means writing in short. So in ChatGPT, there's no brevity. The tone of the email by default is too formal sometimes. I repeat, it's too formal. It's not required. The words and phrases that ChatGPT uses are also quite basic. They're quite basic. So, I beg your pardon. They're not quite basic. They're very, sometimes quite complex to understand for a normal layman. So when somebody reads your email and when your English is not good, you're still improving your English, they understand that it's not authentic. It's not a genuine email because you've copied it from ChatGPT. So what do? Take that email from ChatGPT, but spend 5 minutes reading it, 3 to 4 minutes, at least a minute reading it to personalize it. Remove all the unnecessary information. Only use basic words most importantly. As a matter of fact, you can give that prompt to ChatGPT for that matter. But the most important thing is, you know how best you want to personalize. Sometimes you don't know the right prompts to give also. So it's important to use the first draft, but spend at least a few minutes to personalize that email. It gives a personal touch. And don't completely and fully rely on ChatGPT, because ChatGPT does not know how to write that personal touch and your own voice to the email. Only you know it. So this is something to keep in mind. Always use the AI drafts. We've covered this point already. And also get it checked for accuracy as well. Softwares like Grammarly really help, but ChatGPT, of course, does it for free. And most importantly, keep the message short, concise, and non-robotic. Your message should not be robotic, remember that. Okay, and finally, AI will help us save time, but you should always keep in mind whatever you're writing, especially in the business world, it has that authentic element even today when you're writing it, because authenticity is something that that can't be compensated with any of the AI softwares that you use. Maybe in the future that would be replaced as well, but that personal touch needs to be there. People understand when you're writing emails that are not authentic and ChatGPT written. All right, that's all that we have in today's lesson. I hope you understood what is the right tone in email and how should you use ChatGPT to write to sort of blend it perfectly. All right. Thank you. So here we go. For the members, extra practice of this lesson is available on My Veritas app. Live lessons with unrestricted practice are also available. In case you haven't watched it, please do watch it. For all of these lessons, there are exercises and quizzes for extra practice for you. Please attempt them, use them. In case you have any questions, you can always ask on the private group chat. And if you're planning to take any courses on Cambridge Veritas, you get 20% discount, which is great, isn't it? Yep. Thank you so much for being a part of this lesson. Before you go, write a simple sentence in the comments below. What did you learn in this lesson? Simply write the sentence with "I learned" and then complete the rest of the sentence. La de la de la. I've made another lesson which is all about how to handle interruptions. Watch this lesson, it's really interesting. There's a live exercise as well in the end. Thank you so much for being a part of this lesson with me. God bless and take care.